part of the off week was going back and doing some self-discovery and looking at the first half. When you did that, anything jump out at you? Things to work on?
It's painful because you always look at the bad stuff again. No, it's good. It's, obviously you're looking at tendencies that you might have, and but as much as anything, going and looking at the areas that you need to continue to work, and things that are on tape that opponents are going to see, and so whether it's structurally or it's a particular play or it's a scheme, whatever. So that's been part of the.
Do you feel better about your secondary now than maybe you did 2 or 3 weeks ago?
I think that we're improving, incrementally. We're still not a finished product as a defense, but that's just, again, there's been growth, there's been improvement, and but that won't. You'll need to continue to make those incremental improvements as we continue to go and develop in depth and things of that nature too. So I like our guys, and like where we're at mentally, where we're at physically, and they have a tremendous attitude, a willingness to go to work, own where the weaknesses are, mistakes that are made, and that gives you an opportunity to grow and improve.
Has it been beneficial? You held the freshman Hartman to just 74 yards passing, but Finley and NC State figure to be a much different challenge for your secondary.
It's different, it's more of a pro style system, and they definitely have RPOs, like Wake Forest does, like everybody does, but it's a different system and different quarterback. Sam's a terrific player and he's got a great future ahead of him, but he doesn't know what he doesn't know yet, and where this week's a much different challenge. I would guess he's 23, 24 years old and has played a lot of football, and very experienced, very talented player.
Is it beneficial for the body to be placed kind of midway through the year as opposed to really late or really early?
I don't know. I spend no time thinking about when it is. It's always a good time. You won't hear a coach say, "Oh, this is a terrible time for a bye week." It's always a good time, and again, just gives you an opportunity again to go and look at yourself and try to make some improvement. Just get better, get guys rested, and and get ready for this stretch run. So.
NC State's #1 in the nation now on third down. What makes that offense so tough to get off the field? It's Finley's experience.
It's precision. It's execution. It's precision. It's a quarterback that shows great experience in his decision making. So the system is one thing, but the guy that's pulling the trigger and making all those decisions and throwing with accuracy and throwing on time, is a big part of it. You've got an experienced group of receivers, an experienced group of linemen up front, and again a quarterback that sees the field and really understands ball. Yeah, they can get behind you and they can outfight you and they can create separation. Do a great job, with again the deep ball over the top and the back shoulder throws and the quick game underneath, finding space. They do a great job. They're very physical.
With Kelvin Hartman in particular, what is kind of challenges?
It's all those things I just said. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's instinctive, got great hands. Understands leverage, and understands how to run routes, and they've got great cohesion on offense. I would say it's like having Deshaun and Mike Williams and the rest of the guys from just a cohesion standpoint and an understanding of where we need to be and where each other's going to be, and versus this look we want to do this and versus that look we want to do that. So that's what you see.
Brent, does Finley and an older pro-style guy remind you particularly of anybody that you faced here or at Oklahoma?
I don't know. He's just really good at what he does. He's, again, accurate, poised. He's tough. He's got good quickness. He certainly takes what's there, but he's a very aggressive, very confident. He'll throw the seam when there's not really a hole there, and does a great job. Immediately understanding your positioning on a particular route and throwing the ball where it needs to be based on where you're at. So just he's very good, and with what he does. But I'm sure there's players that have been similar to him, but I haven't really thought about that.
Coach, you and Dave Dorn are a couple of Kansas
Mhm.
guys
Mhm.
coach against each other in the Big 12. How would you describe his coaching style?
Dave's a terrific coach. We used to clinic each other. We used to get together and talk football and linebacker play and defense, and we did that for a number of years till we had to start facing each other. We had a mutual friend that gave him a strong recommendation for a job for Mark Mangino at Kansas, and that's kind of when we started having to face each other, and we quit letting him come see us. But Dave's done a terrific job everywhere he's been. He's very detailed, very passionate, very tough, disciplined, and his team, reflects that.
Big picture-wise, as you come off the bye now, what do you think is the most unique part of this defense compared to some of the other great units you've been in years past?
Unique. I think there's a bunch of guys that really truly enjoy each other and practicing and just being a part of this football family. I mean, just outwardly show it, and that's probably the most unique because I don't think they stand alone. And guys that like to work, we've had some other units that really like to work and the grind and take pride and respond. And this is one of the funner units because of all those things. They do like to work. They do let you coach them hard. They do have a high standard for themselves, and but they like to have a lot of fun and know when to get serious and focused, and when it's okay to have fun within the moment. So I guess if there's a uniqueness, that's part of it.
Obviously, it makes your job easier in some regards, but
Mhm.
you find yourself having to, I don't want to say yell, but they take ownership of this. You don't have to go into a room and tell them to do this,
No,
do that. They're very
no, don't have to. They're really, they trust us. If we tell them they better put their big boy britches on, they know we're serious. We don't, if we tell them we should overwhelm a team in this particular spot, they know that they can take it to the bank. So it's a group that you don't have to trick. You don't have to con them into anything. You tell them how it is, and they get it. It's a very mature group of guys that has, again, played a lot of ball, and they want to win every bit as much as you do, and take a lot of pride in how they do it as much as anything.
We're at 6 games into the season. You guys have had the luxury of being able to use the benches on a few occasions.
Mhm.
You've gotten to see a lot of these players on the field and evaluate for depth purposes, but also going forward. Is there anybody outside of someone like Xavier Thomas that's really flashed in your eyes?
Well, we just got Jordan Williams back. I'll start up front, and so we just got him back. But we were really excited about what he had done up to that point. Him getting hurt, I guess that was the Furman game, and so unfortunately that kind of stunted his growth a little bit. But he's come back and has looked good. Niles has really flashed, and again, thinking moving forward where we got to really replace a lot of guys. Excited about the progress that he's made and needs to continue to make. I think Trey Lamar's really come on through the course of this season and really made some evident marked improvement within the season, and really excited about him. I think Isaiah, he had his best game. He didn't show up. I don't know what the stats show. Even Wake Forest probably didn't show up as much, but had one of his better coverage days with what was at stake and covering Dortch, and really saw him make some mistakes in the Georgia Tech game and just have a great sense of humility to him. Just a lot of little things pre-snap and post-snap, and he's a fun guy to coach. He's still very young and raw at his position, but he's really bought into the coaching aspect and the preparing just the preparation and the detail, the precision that position takes. And so, we'll continue to see him kind of take 10 steps forward and 2 steps back and 5 steps forward and 1 step back, and that'll be part of that growth process for him there. He's at a high stress position, but I've seen him, improve and developing, again, depth in our secondary, the consistency that AJ is playing with, and Trayvon's a better version of himself than what he was a year ago at this time by long ways. Mark as well. Mark really played pretty good, and got to continue to get those young corners more reps. Trying to think at linebacker, Shaq Smith has continued to show up, and is again a young guy. Just thinking about guys that haven't played quite as much. Jalen Williams, his time that he's gotten in there all season, has really done well for us. But am I missing any other young guys? Nolan Turner, really super pleased with him. Some people think, oh, Syracuse got behind him. It's just a young guy playing young. So the first play he's in against Syracuse, they ran a little 8-yard curl route, and they caught it, and he tackled him in space. And so they come right back, and then they ran a fade concept where he's thinking of sitting and squeezing the curl, and the guy just gets behind him, and that's part of that growth. It's like you can't change what you don't guess. You gotta play what's in front of you. So, but we've been really pleased with Nolan, and his improvement's been really good. Really trust him. Again, as far as the young guys, and Kayvon Wallace is really playing well for us. And again, just compared to where he was a year ago, he made a lot of good plays in this game. I think during this game we switched him. We switched Van from strong to free. Tanner had the big nub on, and so Van went over during the game and played free, and we put Kayvon in as a starter during the course of the game, and kind of really took off as a back end when we did that. But really pleased with again how he's playing as well.
You mentioned one of the characteristics of Dave Miller's passion. What is your message to your defense, knowing that you're going to be facing very intense, passionate NC State?
I expect every week to play an intense, passionate group of guys that that treat us like the biggest game of the year, and that's a compliment to our guys. And again, that's to me, that's how I try to coach. To me, that's the only way to coach. Again, to coach with great intensity, to coach with great passion, with great toughness, and to try to show them countless examples, our players, of what they're getting ready to face. They don't need me to tell them. They already know. They got great respect for NC State. They know that NC State's given us everything they got the last few years, and this year won't be any different. They're playing a veteran group of guys that are really good, very skilled. They got great leadership and a lot of pride, and they're 5-0, and two of just a couple of undefeated teams in Power 5 in the country. So I won't really have to tell them the makeup of Dave Dorn and that, other than they know that NC State will be here ready to play. I think that's a big part of it, handling the moment. I would take nothing for granted by any stretch, but we've had great experience in a lot of big games where there's a lot at stake, and I think the bigger the stakes, the better our guys play. I really do, and I think when our guys are challenged, that they've responded more often than not. And again, take nothing for granted. There's a process in how you play well on Saturday, and it's not just being excited to play. You've got to execute. You got to be precise with what you're doing. You got to be violent with what you're doing, and then you got to do it and handle the highs and the lows of every game. It's never just like we talked last Saturday morning going into the Wake Forest game. This game, it's not like Wake Forest isn't going to show up for you and just going to lay down and let the offense go up and down the field and you just smoke them in 3 and out every snap. You're going to have to fight until you can get control of the game. They're going to fight back. They're going to punch back. They're going to have plays. They're going to have answers to what you're doing. And don't panic, man. You got to handle the moment and handle the adversity. You have to complement each other on both sides of the ball. Don't worry about what they're doing. Just worry about how you respond to what's in front of you. And so that when you get to those moments, and it's not coming quite as easy as maybe everybody promised you that it would, that you can handle those moments. And I think that's a big part of the psyche of coaching and developing a team to play week in and week out is to learn how to just play within the game, in the flow of the game, and not. Sometimes I think it's easy when you've been a part of winning so much, and everybody else, and of course you got again and I know it's been talked about the percentages on making a playoffs, or percentages to win the game, or the betting lines that are out there. Those have zero to do with the game itself, and so you got to me, you're naive as a coach if you believe your players are not exposed to that. So to me, it's like you can't tell them every week you're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, but at the same time, I think you can try to teach and coach and lead them with the poise and the emotion and the understanding that you're gonna have to, if you want to win, you're gonna have to fight for your success. It's not, this team is not gonna just lay down for you. And so anyway, and again, when you show them, you give them video evidence in your presentation. It says, see what I'm talking about? It was easy for us, Wake Forest. Our players have a lot of respect for Boston College defense, for example. And Wake Forest went up and down the field on Boston College. They went back and forth. It was it was a shootout type game, and they were like, wow, So when you cut it up and put it to them in video presentation, you're like, see, these are the guys you all been watching and respecting for the last 3-4 years, and they're getting worked. And so those are ways that validate, some of your eagerness to get your guys to really respect the game and how it is to play well. So I know that was long-winded, but I think that there's a lot to it, and a lot that we don't take for granted. And just to be able to, again, to have the Zoom focus, and again, to be able to, block out all the outside noise that is there. You can act like it's not, but it is. And so again, having a mature team, having guys that have been there, done that helps. But as coaches, I've always been one to believe you don't ever take it for granted that you have this heightened awareness that you got to create with your guys on hey, this is what's getting ready to go down.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
It's good. All right.